Hey everyone, Med Asif here, and today we're tackling a really important issue, the challenges that people living in villages face when it comes to higher education and career advancement. It's easy to take things like good schools and job opportunities for granted, but for millions of people around the world, these things are anything but guaranteed. So let's grab our metaphorical shovels and dig into the factors that create this educational gap, because understanding the problem is the first step toward finding solutions. Imagine graduating from high school, excited to go to college, but the nearest university is a 12-hour bus ride away, and that's assuming you can even afford the tuition. For many villagers, this is the reality. The lack of quality schools in rural areas creates a huge barrier to higher education. It's like trying to run a marathon with one shoe untied and the other one missing entirely. You might be determined, but the odds are stacked against you. We talk a lot about the internet these days, how it connects us, how it's this amazing tool for learning. But what about the places where reliable internet access is a dream, not a reality? This digital divide is a major problem for villagers, cutting them off from online courses, research materials, and even job applications. It's like trying to learn about the world while staring at a blank map. You know there's more out there, but you can't quite grasp it. Remember the joy of getting lost in the library stacks, surrounded by the smell of old books and the promise of new knowledge? For many villagers, this experience is rare or non-existent. Libraries are often poorly stocked or non-existent, and study materials are scarce. It's like trying to bake a cake with only flour and water. You might have the basic ingredients, but you're missing key elements for success. Education is often called the great equalizer, but what happens when poverty gets in the way? For many villagers, the cost of tuition, books, and living expenses is simply insurmountable. They're forced to choose between putting food on the table and investing in their education, a choice no one should have to make. It's like being stuck in a never-ending game of Monopoly, where you never get to pass go and never collect enough money to get ahead. Imagine finishing your degree full of hope and ready to start your career, only to find that the only jobs available in your village are low-paying and don't require a degree. This lack of opportunity creates a vicious cycle, discouraging villagers from pursuing higher education in the first place. It's like climbing a mountain, reaching the summit and realizing there's nowhere else to go but back down the same difficult path. Sometimes the biggest barriers to education aren't physical but social. Traditional norms can discourage young people, especially girls, from pursuing higher education. They might be pressured to marry young, help with family businesses, or simply conform to what's always been done. It's like trying to run a race while carrying a heavy weight. You might be strong, but those expectations can really slow you down. We've talked about the lack of schools in villages, but even when there are schools in nearby towns or cities, getting there can be a huge challenge. Long distances, limited transportation options, and the cost of travel all create significant obstacles for villagers seeking education. It's like trying to win a swimming race when you're constantly being pulled back by a strong current. Imagine sitting in a classroom, unable to understand the teacher or read the textbook because you don't speak the language. This is the reality for many villagers who speak local dialects or minority languages. They're essentially cut off from educational opportunities, unable to fully participate or reach their full potential. It's like watching a movie with no subtitles. You can see the action, but you're missing the story. Even when villagers overcome all the obstacles we've discussed, they may still face discrimination based on their background or where they come from. Universities might have biases, employers might make assumptions, and opportunities might be unfairly limited. It's like playing a board game where the rules keep changing, making it harder for you to succeed no matter how well you play. So we've covered a lot of ground here, from limited school access to the weight of poverty and social barriers. It's a complex issue with no easy solutions, but understanding these challenges is the first step towards creating a more equitable world. By raising awareness, supporting organizations working to improve education in rural areas, and advocating for policy changes, We can all play a part in bridging this gap, because everyone, regardless of where they live, deserves the opportunity to learn, grow, and reach their full potential. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more insightful content.